Welcome back to Lobotomy Corporation. I'm Grillmastah, and today we have Melting Love. Melting Love appears to be a woman made out of slime. The last Kirby here has the armor and weapon of Melting Love. It is Aleph gear on both of it, and range for the weapon. When sending an employee in who has mostly 3 across the board, instinct is common, insight is common, attachment is common, and repression is very low. Melting Love makes people who look at it feel affection without them noticing. Pink slime, Melting Love is sliding around the containment unit. If employed, the last Kirby feels like neglecting some of the safety and sanitary protocols. It will result in a slime hell. Unknowingly, Melting Love's army grows day by day. Melting Love is a tricky abnormality. If you send somebody in who goes on anything but repression, they will get a gift above their head, similar to Letitia's, with a big heart. They will walk around with the heart, and anybody they come in contact with will slowly develop symptoms every time that little thing comes out. You know when other employees have been infected as well. They will get the slime on their face, and they will also proceed to give it to other people, who will walk around and give it to more people. The more people that are infected, the more it spreads, and the quicker it gets around the facility. After some time, the infection will spread even further and cover their entire face. After an even more length of time, they will be consumed by a bubble, and they will transform into a slime monster. They're relatively weak and can be taken down quickly, but the problem is, generally when there's one, multiple people will transform, which can cause chaos all around the facility. The person who has the actual original thing that started the infection is immune and can handle everything there if they have Aleph gear, but unfortunately that will proceed to have everybody else in the department die. When the quoth counter reaches 0, the person who has the orb transforms into a slime as well, but they are significantly more powerful. They are a Wa. The people who have transformed just from getting infected are Hay, and the slime itself escapes, transforms into a much more horrific form, and is an Aleph. It, the actual abnormality, immune to red at -1, so it will be healed if you attack with red weapons. Weak to black at 1.5, normal to white at 1, and endured to pale at 0.8. The abnormality, that is the transformed employee that had the heart above their head, is -1 immune as well to red, 2 vulnerable to black, 1 normal to pale or white, and pale is unspecified. The Haze are exactly the same as the Wa on what they are weak to. The Wa ones, like I said, are harder, but you can take them down pretty well if you have your forces there, as well as the Aleph. The problem with the Aleph is it does do significantly more damage. Once defeated, it will go back to its containment unit. You do still have to watch out. It did look like it infected some of the clerks, so they transformed and I had to take care of them real quick afterwards. The story of Melting Love, this abnormality, is made based on the idea of the tumblebug backer MU1. A melted slime, its resemblance to human is revealed when inspected closely. The containment unit is covered in mucus secreted from this abnormality. I'd like to talk about the recent incident that everyone heard about. Yes, that dreadful incident where an army of slimes took over the facility for redacted minutes. There were several containers left in the redacted lab, which were not processed properly during the experiment related to redacted. If you know about redacted experiment, you would already know that the containment inside the containers was merely useless leftovers that only proved that the experiment was failed. The researchers did not feel the need to get rid of them. It was obvious that the newcomer to the research team had no idea what was inside of them. Employee Marie found the pink slime in the containers and decided they could pose no threat. It is assumed that she thoroughly concealed and kept them in redacted status. If my assumption is correct, the melted object in the containers is the redacted of redacted. I don't know if it was fortunate for us or not, but its memories, including the ones about the experiments, were completely gone, and it could barely speak a word or two. It was also mentally unstable. It became extremely nervous whenever Employee Marie was not present. Employee Marie had a brother, who she lost in her childhood. Everything started when she felt attached to a child-looking pink slime that followed her around. Employee Marie showed an unprecedented rate of mental contamination. Yes, it was certain that the abnormality somehow affected her positively in some way. But that was the end of it. Her colleagues started catching her odd behaviors. They tried to press her on that. It was the right thing for them to do. They were educated about mental contamination and that someone disappearing in every break time is a dangerous sign. But Employee Marie didn't say anything to them and ended up being contained in the counselor's room until she opens up. Meanwhile, this slimy creature that had forgotten everything instinctively remembered something, that it had to get out of the facility no matter what happens. The abnormality once felt extremely nervous when Employee Marie didn't show up in time. It thought that she was in danger. It was then that it decided to escape with her. It was a rare bond that she formed between the two. They cared for each other from the bottom of their hearts. Locked in the counselor's room, Employee Marie gave up her right to be silent and began to reveal what she had done. How she kept the content inside the container, how she was able to form a bond with it. However, she didn't finish, because she melted down in a blink of an eye. Yes, she literally melted, completely. That was not the end of it. The slime that was Employee Marie, a few seconds ago, began to move. It was not a difficult task for it to slide out of the door of the counselor's room. Did it have a speck of human rationality? No. As if a newborn creature blindly follows its mom, it just moved towards the abnormality. It was not only Employee Marie that turned into slime, but every single employee who had contacted her began melting too. Employees who questioned her, had a meal with her, worked together. Soon, this army of slime started attacking the other employees. For the mother slime abnormality that they love. Yes, with only love they killed. And my dear employees, I hope you all put on the gas masks that we distributed to you before you came in here. I wish nobody took it off out of boredom or stuffiness. I must inform you that some of you are already infected by the slime abnormality that I told you about. We did not give gas masks to some of you. We said that's because we were out of stock, but the truth is, it was to distinguish the infected and those who are not. You might feel fine for now, but in an hour, your flesh and bone will start to melt, and your mind will disintegrate into pitch-black nothingness. Then you will begin messing up the facility, killing every employee here as a start. Yes, I know, you can't believe it. You feel so alive and clear now. How can you melt into slime? But you will. It's not your fault. Someone among you contacted the slime abnormality, and you were just unlucky enough to be around that person. It's meaningless now to find the first infected. I doubt he or she had any idea how catastrophic the result of their action will be. They did it out of pure affection, after all. And non-affected who are wearing masks, please pay extra attention to your hygiene and report immediately when you see an employee acting weirdly. You will just get infected too if you try to help them. Now, in your desk, there will be 9mm pistols, all locked and loaded. What you have to do now is clear. We will not open the doors until the solution is taken care of. If you think this is too cruel, let me remind you, it's your job. I hope to see you again after everything is over. Management Tip 1. Quoth counter decreased when the work result was bad or normal. Management Tip 2. Melting Love gave a lump of slime to the first employee, D3-109-1, who conducted any other work than repression work. The lump healed D03-109-1's mental health and increased the chance of success in work. However, further observation is required to decide how the effect of lump changes according to the state of melting love. Management Tip 3. Quoth counter decreased when D03-109-1 finished repression work. Management Tip 4. The employees who are in the same area as D03-109-1 can be infected by the slime by low chance. The employee who is infected by the slime D-03-109-2 can be distinguished with the trace of slime on their cheeks. The employee who was in contact with D-03-109-2 was infected with low chance. When enough time passed after the infection, D03-109-2 skin was completely merged with the slime, and the infected employee turned into redacted. So what this means is basically it just will continuously infect the more and more people that get in contact with it. So you want to, anybody who goes into this abnormality, make sure that they stay in just a room by themselves. And it's best to take care of any clerks with bullets in that area of the facility. Management Tip 5. Quote counter reached 0 when the number of D03-109-2 took up half of the department, when D-03-109-1 was still alive. Management Tip 6. Quote counter reaches 0 when D03-109-1 died. Management Tip 7. After a series of experiments, it is found that the slime affects electromagnetic wave. If D-03-109-1 conducts insight work and produces 24 PE boxes as a result, the slime won't catch on to the employees for 30 seconds. However, be cautious that if less than 24 PE boxes are produced, every D-03-109-2 may transform into redacted. So if you send the employee who has the heart above their head into the actual abnormality on insight, and they get 24 boxes or more, for 30 seconds, it can't affect everybody else. But if you don't get 24 boxes or less, everybody who is already infected will transform. But given that they're going to transform in the long run anyways, you're pretty much already in trouble by that point. Again, it's just best to either ignore this abnormality or leave the person who is in there by themselves and make sure there is no clerks in that whole department. Instinct is low on 1, 2, and 3, common on 4 and 5. Insight is common all across the board. Attachment is low on 1 and 2, and common on 3, 4, and 5. And repression is very low all across the board. But if you send it on repression, there you will not get the heart. But because it is very low, there is a chance that if you get high or normal, the quoth counter will reduce. The weapon is long range, slow, it is black damage, and I use this very commonly. The armor is 0.3 to red, 0.6 to white, 0.3 to black, and 1 to pale, so it is also rather good armor. The gift is a head 2, HP plus 5, SP plus 10, success rate minus 5, work speed minus 5, and a drop chance of 2%. I don't think I have ever actually gotten this gift, mostly because I haven't really gone into this abnormality much. You can see by the PE boxes down here that's only 113. Quoth counter is 3. It's immune, so it will actually be healed by red damage. 1.5 weak to black, 1 to white damage normal, and 0.8 endured to pale. And that has been Melting Love. Until next time.